Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our new video, and today we're going to cover another example of how the data from the Infostealers can be used for the investigation purposes. So in our case for today, we're going to shed some light on two FBI most wanted criminals, and speaking about the FBI, they indicated that there were no law enforcement concerns with the public disclosure of this information. So, those two gents from Pakistan are wanted for running, at least since 2011, an online fraud business known as Second Eye Solution, or also known as a forwarders. And this service focused on selling digital images and false identity documents like passports, driving licenses, and the bank statements. Let's quickly jump to a historical version of secondeyesolutions.com. As we can see, they marketed these fake documents as a means of verifying online accounts, but in fact, it was used by their customers to defraud payment processing companies, e-commerce businesses, and social media platforms. I also want you to remember this Skype account and this email address because soon we're going to see this again. So for the investigation purposes, I'm going to create in our Cavalier platform a new company. We will call it Second Eye Solution, and I will add here all the domains associated with this service. And by the way, this is completely public information because they are also on the US sanction list. And click on display data to try to understand if I can find additional entities that are linked to this service aside of the two gens that we saw before that are already wanted by the FBI. All right, now let's examine the results, and for the simplicity, I'll call the two machines that we are going to inspect now computer A and computer B. So what you see right now on the screen, this is computer A. It is in the compromised employees section, and it means that according to our logic, it most likely belongs to the Second Eye Solution employee. It has Pakistani IP address, it was infected back in 2021, and indeed by checking the logins and the URLs we can understand that some high privileged employee was using this computer. It has access to the cPanel, to the WordPress login, it has also orders and webmail subdomains, something that is most likely was used to manage this business. And of course we can see here the support at secondeyesolutions.com email address, something that we previously spotted on their website. Now let's check the same computer A but in the third-party credentials section, which helps us to understand more about their infrastructure. We can see that the Second Eye and the forwarder's domain were used to manage their hosting and online registration information, and also were used to sign in to other third-party vendors. I'm clicking right now on the other infected machine that we have here. Let's call it computer B, and it also has Pakistani IP address and was infected back in 2020. And without any doubt, we can clearly understand that this computer is also associated with some high privileged employee by holding a credentials to the info@forwarders.com email address. By the way, one of the interesting features of the Infostealers is that some of them can take a screenshot of the compromised machine. So generally speaking, we have a sneak peek of what victim is doing at the moment of the infection. So if I open computer A in our investigation module and click on the screenshot file, I will discover a forwarders and Second Eye Skype account, and looks that it belongs to support team that was managing incoming orders. This is the reason that I previously asked you to remember that on their website there's a Skype account that was mentioned one of their contact options. So now comes the biggest question: who do infected computers belong to? Let's check the top logins identified on computer A, and Hudson Rock researchers concluded that it belongs to a person named Bakhtavar Abbas. We see that out of over 230 credentials that were identified on this computer, 25 of them belong to bakhtavar.abbas@gmail.com. And by the way, all the rest of credentials will be a gold mine to the law enforcement agencies for further investigation of this case. And our conclusion that it belonged to Bakhtavar Abbas is also supported by the name of this computer, Bakhtavar.pc. And moreover, we examined the cookies and were able to find a Facebook account with exactly the same name. Surprisingly, one day after the publication of this research on our infostealers.com site, this profile was suddenly deleted. Our team did also the same research procedure with computer B and concluded that it belongs to a person named Kamber Jamani or Muhammad Kamber. We see that mqjamani@gmail.com is the leading email address out of other 400 credentials belonging to this machine. And the username of this computer is called Jamani, and by searching for MQ Jamani we managed to find a GitHub account related to Muhammad Kamber. Moreover, by examining the cookies we found that there is a wallet session for Facebook account related to Kamber Jamani. And exactly in the previous case with the computer A, both of GitHub and Facebook accounts were deleted one day after the research went online. Now, let's close our investigation not only by identifying new potential identities linked to the second eye solution, but also tracking the presence of two already wanted gens on those infected machines. I'll take Ali Mohsin 228 alias that appears on the OFAC list and try to search computer A for the presence of this keyword. Basically, it can give me some evidence that Mohsin Raza was using this machine also. And indeed, we have several matches here for Ali Mohsin 228 as a standalone nickname and as an email address. And by the way, it is also paired to the same reused passwords that starts with Ami. Now let's try to see if the same password was also used for another account on computer A, and we have another match here. It was paired to a nickname like Wise. So the next obvious step here will be to search for additional accounts with nickname like Wise, and it's bingo again. By using this technique we managed to find additional nickname and the email address potentially linked to the Mohsin Raza. And if you ask what about computer B, so also there we can find evidence of using likewise as a username for different services and second eye solution site. Now let's talk about Mujtaba Raza, and on the same OFAC list I can find one of his email addresses threatcc@gmail.com. So for the convenience, I'll open our investigation module on computer A data, and we see here that his credentials were used also in this computer. So we have an indication that there are four different services that threatcc@gmail.com was used as a sign-in email. So thank you so much for checking out this video. Today we covered how the data from the info stealers can be used to identify new linked identities and also shed some light on already known information. And you're welcome to visit our website hudsonrock.com and learn more about this topic on infostealers.com.